Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about me, yeah, what do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Well, for context, Angeline and I. Wait. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna beep this part because I just want to reduce the gain a bit.
Yeah.
Still mic testing. Hello, fellow listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Low High Trips. And today, we have a brand new guest joining us. Welcome to Low High Trips, Angeline. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for having me today. Yeah, so my name is Angeline. What do you want to know?
Yeah, I mean, for context, Angeline and I, we met one another through NAP. And yeah, we've been friends ever since. We've been supporting one another through our, different life stages, different life transitions. And it's insane how much or how many things have happened over the past years.
That
right?
is so true.
Yeah, we basically met one another in the peak pandemic period.
That is so true.
Right?
Yeah.
And we've been through so much together. And we, typically we catch up once every semester or once every season.
Like in real life.
In real life, yeah. Because I am an introvert and I don't really go out too often. But yeah, that's something that I'm challenging myself as well to be more open to experience. And yes, we have Angeline here today. One thing super funny, Angeline and I, we were getting coffee earlier this morning because that's what Melbourne people do, right, Angeline?
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. And what did you get?
I got matcha because that's my favorite drink.
Yeah, and you got iced.
Yeah, iced because it's quite hot this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
which is a very, very smart decision.
yes.
It was blazing and scorching hot. The sun was, shining on my forehead to the point it's probably suntan.
Yeah.
But I did my usual mistake by ordering
ordering a very hot,
extra hot soy flat white, and that has caused me a lot of pain.
Yes. This is actually still my very first podcast experience, guys. So
yeah,
I'm a bit nervous.
That's all right. That's my job as the host to make you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. But we'll take it easy. I won't be interviewing you. I won't be asking you, like a job interview.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right. Just take it easy. Just relax, kick back. And yeah, we're basically just two people having conversations. It's just, we're just having this
life.
Extremely massive mic in front of us, between us. So we were talking about earlier, I think we were talking about the people around us. We were updating one another about what happened in my life and what happened in your life. And we realized one thing. Is it just me or is everyone around us getting married today? Not today, but is there some mating season or something that's going on?
Mating season, that's what you call it?
Yeah, right? I think you mentioned as well, you have quite a few friends around you.
Yeah, a lot. On social media, you see a lot of people getting married these days, a very young age, especially at my age.
Yep.
Just a little bit of context, everyone. So I'm still 23. This year I'm going to turn 24 years old. So it's just everyone from my high school, the seniors, the juniors, everyone around me, even with my family members, they are slowly getting married at a very young age. So yeah, that's a bit of interesting part, I guess.
It's like a trend over these few years. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not a trend. Maybe
not trend. Yeah.
Some, everyone they make their decision just to get married at very young age, or not married, just maybe say engage.
Yeah, settling down per se. Would you say that? Yeah. And it's sort of the the society accepted age or life phase to settle down.
Yeah.
Which I personally must admit is not something that I could really empathize. I can understand.
Yeah.
Look, I can understand, but it's not something that I truly believe in.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Just speaking of marriage as well, I just want to do a quick shout out to Eugene. I think we were talking about earlier as well. I am feeling pretty sad, actually extremely sad, because of the fact that I missed my longest friend's marriage, or actually wedding.
Wedding, yeah.
With his fiancée, now wife. And yeah, I think, COVID has finally taken a toll on me. And I think I started reflecting a bit as well, wow, okay, I guess I guess I actually missed one of the most significant moments of my longest friend's life.
That's yeah.
But yeah, anyhow, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's very sad, Aaron, just to hear because, like you said, he's been like your very best friend from the start. Like
Yeah.
20 years of friendship. It's
Yeah,
like
we knew one another for
very,
20
very
years.
long.
20 years.
20 years.
Insane.
It's like insane.
2 decades.
Yeah.
I can't think of one thing that I've committed to longer than 2 decades so far in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyhow, shout out to Eugene and Su Yan. Happy marriage. Is that something that people say? I don't know.
Maybe congratulations
Yeah,
for tying the knot.
Yes, congratulations for tying whatever that you tied. Just genuinely wishing, health and wealth and happiness or any positive vibes, to the
Amen.
collaboration between you two. And speaking of wedding and marriage, Angeline, what's your ideal partner or who is your ideal partner? Describe this person.
Aaron, this is very interesting that you asked me. Well, my ideal partner is someone I can feel comfortable with, of course. And then I just, I just would like to be with someone that can understand me, that can be supportive in every life stage, the good and the bad, because I feel like that's really important these days to have the strong mental support from your own partner, because you will spend the rest of your life with this person. So you have to trust. Yeah, I need someone that I can trust, I can depend on, and yeah, he can also be hardworking and, comes from a good family background.
Okay.
Yeah, has like values and also like principles and have faith, I guess.
Okay. With the characteristics or the checklist that you mentioned, right? I think trust 100%. That's like the foundation of every relationship, right? That's not even romantic relationship foundation. That's
Like
more like
friendship as
any
well,
relationship
yeah.
in general. It's interesting when you mention, things like support coming from did you mention good family background? Is that specifically what you said?
Yeah.
So could you like describe a little bit further as to what you mean by good family background?
For me, good family background is, like I want to be with someone where the family or the parents per se, they reminds me of like my own parents, I guess.
Okay.
Because from my background, I'm the only child and I don't have siblings.
Right.
So it's, like I want to spend my life or the next chapter of my life, I guess, with someone that can give me the warmth, like that kind of warm feeling.
Right.
It's very rare to find those kind of warm feeling these days. So it's something like a good family background means give me that kind of warm feeling, I guess.
Okay. So basically when you mention
And
like
supportive.
right, of course.
Supportive.
When you mention supportive, right? Let me just like dive a bit deeper first before I go back to the family background part.
Okay.
Supportive as in like emotionally supportive, financially supportive, what kind of supportive or every way?
I guess every way.
Describe more.
Because supportive means mentally supportive, of course. Financially supportive, I don't really see that as a major thing. I mean, it's good to have a good family background that can support you financially, but for me, in my personal opinion, I can also see myself as someone that can support myself financially as well. So I don't really need to depend with like a guy or like my future guy's parents just to provide me with that kind of support.
Yeah.
For me personally, support means being present in every moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's more about, I guess you say, mental support.
Yeah, and also being, like you say, mentally and emotionally supportive for any life phases or transitions or problems or issues that you experience in your life.
Yeah, not just issues, but like happy moments, you can share the happy moments.
Okay, that's a very good point.
Yeah, like the warmth. I guess that's the main thing
the
for
warmth,
me.
Right?
Yeah, the warmth. Yeah.
Which also ties back down to when you mention good family background. Because initially when you mentioned good family background, I think the first thing that my mind jumped to was sort of like a checklist. In a sense, like good family background, like, oh, your parents must be educated. Your parents must be financially well-to-do. Or this kind of like checklists that are stereotypically existent in some people. That's not the case for me, but I don't know why that's the first thing that my mind jumped to. So it's good that you sort of like express and elaborate a little bit more. where you mentioned good family background is more towards like providing you this feeling. So you're in search of this feeling.
Yeah, the search of the warm feeling, and of course you want to be accepted as well, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that's really important. Not just be accepted, but my own family can accept this person as well.
Right.
And like they have the same, not the same, but like similar values, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you will share the life with this person in the long run, and you want to be part of this family who also share the same belief and similar belief or values, I guess.
I think that's very important.
That's really important. Otherwise, it's going to cause any like trouble in the long run.
Yeah, any sort of like conflicts or even disagreements and just different pathways in general, right?
Yeah.
Because your values would construct your behaviors. And, from that, obviously speaking, it's just going to be like a butterfly effect. And it's just going to be compounded nonstop. So basically when you mention, once again, I feel like I'm always pulling you back. Come back to this topic, Angeline. Come back to this specifically something that you said that I'll never let go, which is good family background. But yeah,
it's okay.
It's interesting because what you're looking for in a partner is essentially your parents have provided this sense of warmth. Let's say home, a feeling of home, right?
Yes.
And what you're looking for in your partner, would you say it can be concluded that you're looking for this partner to provide you a sense of like being at home?
Yeah,
being
of course.
Comfortable,
reminds me of home. Someone that, I can, like someone that is like my best friend, like you can share a lot of things with this person and you can just be open about anything without like thinking twice, what should I say or what should I do, like having an open communication with the person. Yeah.
So to say, a person that allows you the space and the time or whatever you want to call it, the safe space to be yourself.
Space. Yeah, of course.
Be your most authentic self.
Yes.
I 100% agree with that. Because for me, home is not a place. It's a feeling.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And home is where you're able to completely be yourself. Like we know that, at home we are just...
do a lot of random crazy things,
Going back to, what you mentioned as well, like you being in a relationship with this ideal partner is sort of like your parents must sort of like accept them as well.
Of course.
Right? And okay, you can't say of course. Some people have different values, Angeline, and some people have different priorities. But
I mean, that's for me. It's really important to get approval from my parents because I'm the only child and I believe they want the best for me.
Okay, that's very sweet. Sounds like you have a very healthy relationship with your parents, which is very admirable,
Also, I forgot to mention earlier that I feel for my ideal partner, I want that person to be caring, to be kind, to be understanding. And just be there for me, I guess. Emotionally available, that's the word.
Emotionally available, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to add.
I don't know, it just sounds to me that you just want this ideal partner of yours to be a gentleman. Right? The characteristics of a stereotypical gentleman. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah. I have a question, Aaron.
Okay.
Do you think with all of the characteristics that I just told you, do you think I have a high standard or do you think I expect too much?
Okay. Very good question. Thank you for asking. Look, I think in the end of the day, having expectations and standards for things, especially for something which is a lifelong commitment, I feel like our approach for what a relationship is that when you go into a relationship, you want that relationship to be your last. There is no such thing as like, this is going to be my second last relationship before I move on to my final one, right? Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
there's no like progression for it. It's just like, yep, this is it. This is the project I'll commit to for the rest of my life. At least I believe that's for our values. Can you confirm?
Yeah.
Right, thank you. So basically for a lifelong commitment, I feel like it's relatively fair for you to have a high standard because of the fact that it's not ideal to settle down, and to compromise for things that you cannot compromise on. For example, you settle down on your expectations, meaning you lower it slightly, right? You live the rest of your life knowing that, I somewhat, lowered my expectations for you. So whenever this human being does something that, somewhat disappoints you, you're like, man, I already lowered my expectations for you. I lowered my standards for you, yet you disappoint. How disappointing. It sort of like brings that loop. I don't know, honesty, I feel like it really depends on your approach to a relationship. Some people have checklists for relationship. I feel like personally, I didn't have a checklist. I just went with vibes. It's just like, yeah, we have chemistry, things are good, things are flowing, things are authentic, organic. Yeah, let's do it. I didn't have anything. However, I realized that when you do not have a checklist or sort of like your minimum expectations or baseline or like a foundation of what you require, or mandatory characteristics, right?
Maybe I would have to say it's knowing yourself and what you need from your other partner. I guess that's what I say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that it plays a bigger part than I thought it would. I always thought that, oh yeah, if things are good, things feel good, it must be good. It should be able to last. It should be able to work somehow organically. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I think right now I'm at a stage of my life where I feel like I would like to filter a bit more. I didn't have a checklist. I didn't go through things. I didn't like filter through. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah. And then I have to add another point. We all have to acknowledge that not everyone is perfect.
Of course.
Yeah, so of course everyone has weaknesses and I acknowledge the weaknesses, but it is really back to us at the end of the day whether we can accept the weaknesses in the long run or not.
Yeah. I think expectations and, in your words, standards, they are okay as long as they are reasonable. If they are unrealistic and unreasonable, then I think that's, it's who you're going to blame when you can't find a specific person to fit this perfect model of yours, this ideal of yours. And that's why it's called ideal in the first place. Like, it would be nice to have ideal.
It will be nice, yeah.
But life is not always ideal.
Yeah, of course, right? Yeah, of course. That's why everyone has weaknesses, including myself. I have to admit I have my weaknesses as well, Aaron.
And the fact that someone can and hopefully will accept us for, our flaws and our defects. Oh man, that sounds so negative. But sort of like essentially things that we could improve on. I would expect us to do the same for other people as well.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why a relationship is sort of like a group project. And essentially a relationship / marriage is like a lifelong commitment, which provides me with the perfect segue. I personally don't really understand the idea of a marriage. Okay? I don't really understand it because to me it's like, oh, what's the point of it? I don't know. I don't know what I feel about marriage, if I'm completely honest. People have always asked me, do you plan to get married in your life? I cannot answer that question. I feel like at this phase of my life, I am not ready. The reason why I say I'm not ready is because I feel like I don't understand this concept just yet. I don't know. It just feels like, what's the point of marriage?
I understand.
Look, I'm not pro marriage. I'm not against marriage. I just want to understand what marriage is.
Yeah.
I understand that, people are like, oh, it's just, two people settling down together, making it official. But can't you do all that without marriage or a wedding?
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
I can't really see what's the difference aside from, having to do socially acceptable or expected things like having a wedding ceremony, which in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, it's a complete waste of money. I understand the culture and tradition behind it. But at the same time, if you're going in debt because of a wedding ceremony, I would highly advise against it. Like, I don't think that's a very wise decision. Once again, it's my personal opinion. But yeah, I may say this right now. I may change my mind, years from now. Who knows? People change.
Yeah,
people
of course.
develop.
People develop.
Experience different things, different priorities all the time. So I'm always keeping an open mind.
It's not just about two people tying the knot together, but it's more because God is in the middle of us. God is the one that unites me and whoever this guy is in the future.
Right.
So it's something that is sacred, and it's just like I choose to get married because I don't want to spend the rest of my life being alone. Like, I want to build my family one day. And, just to experience all of the joy, all of the roller coaster thing, I guess, in this life. The next phase, what's going to look like. Yeah, I guess
Okay.
that's how I describe about marriage.
Right.
It's not about only just a commitment,
Okay.
but it's more about building a life together with the person. For the rest of your life.
Yeah, like essentially a marriage is a lifetime project, a lifetime collaborative project between you two,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you're trying to build something together.
Yeah.
Okay. To you, what changes before and after a marriage? I can't see it. What are your
Okay.
thoughts?
My thoughts, I guess, before marriage is mainly it's focusing more about you and the other person,
Mhm.
and see how things go, while you are both in a relationship, in a committed relationship, not just like, uncommitted relationship. So it's more like a serious part. But after marriage is more about taking higher commitments, not just for the two of you, but it's more with the whole family, like his family, my family, the siblings, and all of the cousins, and like the whole project, I guess.
Yeah.
Takes
So
the village.
okay, so instead of like a two people project, like a duo project, it becomes like this big group project between two families. So essentially, what you're trying to say, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not hearing wrongly, is that a marriage is the collaboration of two families, officially or legally. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because not only just about that, having another commitment is, like in the long run, we will have like kids and we will have to take care of them. We have greater responsibilities. So we don't really just focus on ourselves. But yeah, I think expanding that responsibilities, I guess that's what I want to say.
Okay. Okay. Basically, expanding the responsibilities that you have and you expect from this partner of yours through a marriage.
Yep, it's more like sharing life together.
Okay.
Not just like separate individuals, because like if you're in a relationship, I mean, it is like a together project, but at the end of the day, you can still live your own life separately, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you still have that thin space where you can spend with yourself personally, but like with marriage, you can still have that, but it's more like two person into like one, I don't know.
From what I'm hearing, it's basically like pre-marriage is two individuals working on a group project.
Yeah.
But after marriage, it's sort of like two becomes one and they work on a single project, which is theirs.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. That's a very good conclusion then. Um,
It's so hard.
I mean, that's what this podcast is all about. It's all about helping us organize our thoughts. That's one of
Yeah.
the pros of a podcast, which is it challenges you to think about things that you don't really want to discuss and talk about sometimes. And when you're forced to talk about it, you sort of like have an open diary, if that makes sense. But it's sort of like a live diary. You know what I mean? You don't like change it all the time.
Yeah.
You say
yeah.
it, you say it. That's
You
it.
say it. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, that's really good that you have this podcast, Aaron, because everyone can listen to it. Everyone has different opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a matter of perspective.
Absolutely. I think everything are all matters of perspectives. And I personally think that I'm curious as a cat. I feel like the curiosity will kill the cat just as it would kill me. Because I'm always very interested to better understand people's insights and perspectives as to why they're doing something. Like I said, at the start of the podcast, even I know that we both have different beliefs here and there.
Yeah.
When it comes to probably like marriage, I think that's the main one, or even like the idea of a relationship, what it means to us, as well as I believe dating apps. But you know what? I think this episode is running quite a bit long, so that's an episode teaser for y'all. Essentially, on the next episode that we have with Angeline, we will be talking about dating apps because we talked about it a little, just a little, just skim
Just a
the
little.
surface of it, barely even dive deep, and we realized that we have very differing opinions on it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's save it for the podcast. We'll talk during the podcast. So tune in to the next episode. I say next episode with Angeline, where it's gonna be all about dating apps. But before that, before we wrap up this episode, Angeline, do you have any final words or takeaway that you like to provide to the listeners?
I guess I have to say that everyone is different. It's just talking from my personal experience, like past experience, and what I really want in terms of what we have discussed today about the idea of relationship and marriage. Of course, at the end of the day, people can change, our perspectives can change, but it's just taking from my own understanding that that's what I really want in the future. At the end of the day, I can only say that just be yourself, have confidence, and things will find a way out, I guess.
Eventually.
Eventually.
A very hopeful message from Angeline.
No.
Stay true to yourself. You know, if you and your partner are currently experiencing like a speed bump or like a challenge or difficulty, think about it in a way where it's the both of you versus the problem rather than you versus your partner. So
That's a really
think of
good-
it, like a group project. It's like when you're working on a project with someone and you have differing opinions, it's not the both of you are trying to argue with one another. It's the both of you are trying to hash things out, are trying to discuss, openly
Have
communicate
open communication
to work
yes.
towards this issue.
Yep.
Because what's the point of having that, personal agenda where you're trying to win over the other person? Because what's there to win in the first place? You're in a group project, you're going to be with this person, I don't know, hopefully for the rest of your life, if that's your goal or that's your motivation. And I don't find a reason to further increase conflicts. We already have enough conflicts in the world,
Yeah, already enough.
So guess that's the end of our episode. Thank you, Angeline, for coming to this episode of Low High Trips. I really enjoyed having this conversation with you.
Thank you, Aaron, that you are being such a good host.
Oh, that's
Thanks
very
for
kind of you.
welcoming me, and stay tuned, guys.
Yep, to the next episode.
To the next episode.
Stay high, stay low, stay hydrated, stay safe. This is Aaron.
And this is Angeline.
Bye.
Bye. It's a long one. Oh no.